I'm back. What's up, people? Alright, so today we're just going to work our way through this little study guide and intervention about slope. So we're going to figure out how this stuff works on the graph, and we're going to talk about how we use the formula to give us our rise over our run and figure out how all this works. So don't be scared. This ain't no ghost. This is just crazy old me. Alright. If you know this song, you can send it to me later. Alright. So let's take a look here at what we got. So if you just look at the top here, it tells you that slope is rise over run, okay, and that the slope is the same for any 2 points on a straight line. And here is our slope formula. All right, so remember that slope is describing the steepness of a line, and slope is represented by the letter M. Okay, so in our little formula we got, y equals mx. Okay, that m right there, that is standing for the slope of the line. Alright, so we're going to go down here and we're going to look at some of these examples on the graphing part, and then we're going to look and see how it also works on the formula part. So first of all, I just want us to look here at the graphing part, and you can see that you've got a point here where it crosses. Alright, and you got a point here, okay? So it's better to find them where they actually cross in the corners. So I would say something about like right there maybe would be good, and that one looks like it's crossing in the corner, and that's hard to do. They're going by twos. So let's just pretend that there was one there and there's one there. Okay, so we'll just pretend for pretend's sake. Okay, so you go up 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we go 1, 2, 3. So that would be 3 up, and then right 1, 2, 3, 4 would be over to there. Okay, so again we go up 1, 2, 3. So that's the rise. 1, 2, 3, and the run would be coming this direction. So we're here and we go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're doing rise over run, and that would be 3/4. So that means the m for this particular one is 3/4. Or the slope for this particular graph is 3/4. Now you can come over here and see how they're doing it with the formula as well. So the 2 points they've got are 5,1 and 9,4. Okay, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it better. So 5,1 is one of the points, which is that one. And then 9,4 is the other point, which they've got there. All right, and if you go by the x's and y's, right, remember each one of these is an xy pair. Alright, so we're going to say 5 is x1 and the 1 is y1. Down here we're going to say the 9 is the x2 and the 4 is the y2. So if we bring them over here to our formula and we do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, that means we're going to take the 4 and we're going to put it there because that's y2, and we're going to take the 1 and we're going to put it there because it's y1. Okay, so we've got the y's right there, y2 and y1 together. Alright, and then we've got the x's over here. So x2 is 9, and I'm going to put it right there. And then x1 up here is 5, and I'm going to put it right there. And again, those two go together, x2 and x1. So these are the x's, these are the y's. So you can see right here we've got 4 minus 1 and 9 minus 5. 4 minus 1, of course, gives you 3, which I've got right there. And 9 minus 5 gives you 4, which I've also got right there. Okay, and you can see that the slope is 3/4. So if you can put it on a graph and count it, you can do the rise over run this way. If you need to use the formula, which we're going to do some more down here at the bottom in a minute, you can also get it that way. So you've got two choices. We've got graphs that we can use and count the rise and run, or we've got the formula that we can put the coordinates in and we can find the rise and run that way. Alright, so the first couple we're going to do down here are just looking at counting, okay, just looking at the graph. Alright, so you always want to start at the lower one, which here would be this one, and you're going to go up 1, okay, so the rise is 1 because we go from there to there. Then we're going left 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you go left, of course that is negative, so the run is -4. Okay, so let me talk about that one more time. So if I start here at the lower point, I go up 1, okay, and that's positive. Going up is positive, so that's a rise of 1. And then if you go left, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And anytime you go left on the graph going that direction, of course, that's negative. So the run is -4. So if we write it correctly, that would be m equals 1 over -4. Now, if you happen to not start at the lower one and you start at the higher one, you would have to go down 1, which would be -1. And then you would go right 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that would be a -1 and then a +4, or you could write it that way. Either way, you can see that has a negative slope because it's coming down this direction, so it's got a negative slope. And you know it's got a negative slope because you got a negative number either here or here. Okay, so if you go from the lower one up and left, that's rise 1 and runs -4. If you start at the higher one, which I don't recommend, you come down 1 and go right 4, which would still give you a -1 over +4. So either way, both of those will work. You're probably not going to see them written exactly like that. It's probably just going to have the negative out here and do -1/4 is probably what it's going to look like. All right, let's look at number 2. All right, I especially wouldn't recommend starting at the lower point on this one. Okay, let me hunker down on that a little bit more. All right, so we've got our low point here, we've got our point here. You can see it's going up and right. So we start here at the lower one and we count 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, start at the lower one and count up 1, 2, 3. All right, so my rise is 3. Now I've got to get my run. Okay, so then I'm here and I'm doing is coming over 1. So boom, boom. Okay. So that would be a rise of 3 and a run of 1. So you can write it like that if you want to, or you could just write it as a whole number. Either one of those would work. And again, both of those numbers are positive because you're going up, which is a positive move, and you're going right, which is a positive move. So up and right, both are positive. So this has a positive slope. All right, then we come over to here to the next one. Let me get this right. This is a little better. Okay. Now again, I would start at the lower point down here, and I'd go up and left. Okay. Again, up is a positive move on the graphing world. Left is a negative move. Okay. So I start here and I go up 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So my rise is 4. And then when I get to here, I'm going to go left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and so my run is a -5. So let's go through that one more time. Start at the lower point and go up 1, 2, 3, 4. That's positive, rise. Then once you get there, you've got to take a left-hand turn and go left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going left is a negative. So my slope, if I do my rise over run, is 4 over -5. Now you could do it the other way, okay? I don't suggest it, and I don't say that's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but you could say, okay, well I'm going to come down 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to go, that would be a -4, and then I'm going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then of course that would be the same thing, so that would be a -4 this. Either way, you can see that both of them have a negative number in it, okay? Whether you go up and left or down and right, you got one number that's negative. So again, this has negative slope. Probably going to see it written like this, m equals, and then it'll just have the negative out in front of it and have 4/5 like that. Okay? So there are some that have zero slope and undefined slope, but we haven't got any of those here at the moment. So we'll talk, when we run into one, we'll talk about it. All right, we're going to finish up the last part down here using the slope formula, and that of course is coming from up here at the top of the page. That is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm just going to take that and bring it on down and write it over here. Okay, so the slope formula is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. See that okay? All right. Now I'm going to go through and just put my numbering stuff over these. I think I might use a different color that might help you see it. So let me see if I can do that. All right. So again, my ordered pairs are XY pairs. Okay. So I'm going to put X1 over that and X2 over that. And that means this one, of course, would be Y1 and this one would be Y2. All right, so the Y's go together first. They go on top because that gives you your rise number. So that would be 4 minus 2. 4 minus 2. Okay, because that's Y2, that's Y1. All right, now I'm going to go to my X numbers. Okay, X2 minus X1. So X2 is negative 5 minus 2. Hey, we get to review some integer rules here. All right. So on the top, I am pretty sure you know that 4 minus 2 is 2. So you know the rise number is 2. Here, I'm going to rewrite that using additive inverse. Okay, so this is taking it back a little bit, y'all. Additive inverse. So I'm going to keep that, change that to addition, and take the opposite of that. So keep, change, opposite. Kind of like keep, change, flip on your dividing fraction things. So that's negative 5. Change it to addition. The opposite of 2 is negative 2. Now they're the same sign. So if you got 5 negatives and 2 negatives, you add them together, and that gives you 7 negatives. Okay. So there is my rise. There is my run. So you would want to write for this m equals negative 2/7. Since I've got a negative number in here, guess what kind of slope this has got? It's going to have a negative slope. And it's going to look something like either number 1 did, which had a little coming down this way, or number 3 did, where it was coming down that way. Okay, so it's going to have, let's say, I'll just give you the example. So we're here. Okay, we're going to come down 2 and right 7, or you could go up 2, you could go left 7. So it's going to look something like that if you graph it on graph paper. Alright, let's try another one. Alright, again, my slope formula is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'll go back and kind of do this one like I did the earlier example. So here is my x1, here is my x2, here is my y1, here is my y2. Alright, so my y2 number right there is 2. There's my y1 number is 5.
Bus riders, you are dismissed. If you ordered a meal, please be sure to go by the cafeteria and pick them up.
Alright, so for my x numbers, I've got x2 is 4 and x1 is 5. So 2 minus 5 and 4 minus 5. So if I do keep change opposite to that, that is going to be 2 plus negative 5, and 2 plus negative 5 is negative 3. If I do keep change opposite on that, that would be 4 plus negative 5 also, and 4 plus negative 5 is negative 1. Now here's the question for you. What's a negative divided by a negative? A negative divided by a negative is positive.
All car riders are dismissed. If you ordered a meal, please
So
be sure to go by the cafeteria.
since a negative divided by a negative is a positive, okay, that means that this is going to have a slope of 3. And that would be up 3 and right 1, so that is positive. If you did the same thing here, it would be down 3 and left 1, which would give you the same thing, okay? So if I started here and I go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and right 1, or if I started here and I went down 3 and left 1, you can see how it's going to be the same either way. So it's going to have a positive slope. Alright, before we have one more announcement, let me see if I can hurry through this next one before they call out the next bus rider, car rider thing here. Alright, so I'm going to kind of speed through this one a little bit more. So these are my Y numbers. That's Y1 and Y2. This is X1 and X2. Alright, so for this one I'm doing 3 minus negative 4. A minus negative we're going to work on in a second. And then you got 7 minus 7. All right, so 3 minus negative 4. If you do additive inverse of that, that's keep that the same. Change that to addition. That's going to become a positive, so that's easy enough now. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 minus 7, of course, is 0. All right, so that means you're going to go up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you won't go right or left, okay? No right or left. So then you go up 7 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can see it's going to be a straight line, vertical, up and down. If it's vertical line like that, 7, 0, that is known as undefined slope. All right, undefined is the one that goes vertical. If you get one that's horizontal like that, that is called zero slope. And it will have the 0 on top. It'd be like, instead of being 7, 0, it would be like 0, 7. So it depends on where the 0 is. If the 0 is in the bottom, it's undefined. If the 0 is in the top, it's zero slope. All right. Hope you people have had a good day. Hope you're feeling all right. Hope you're staying healthy. Hope you're staying wise. If you got any questions about this stuff, let me know. All right, we're going to find those slopes, baby. I ain't afraid no ghosts. Woo! Peace out.